Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing some awesome floor standing speakers from Bowers Wilkins, their B&W 603 S3. Now the S3 is their Series 3, which replaced of course the Series 2 and then the original 603s. These are absolutely iconic. The new Series 3 has some very rapid trickle down from some of their very best speakers with the B&W Nautilus and the tweeter configuration and other things along those lines that are absolutely second to none. The brand is renowned for it and absolutely starting to be sharing the 603 floor standing speakers with you today. Right, now they're in pairs. We've got one over here, it's going to sit there the whole time. This one we're going to drill into. Look, as always, hang around for the photographs because we'll take that second one and unbox it slowly so you can sort of see all things. It's really important. The packaging is excellent, by the way, from a preservation of the product. There's screen printed line drawing of the speaker, there's the weight, maximum, all of those things all here. They're 32 kilos in the box. Bowers Wilkin 603 S3. On three sides in the corner, 1, 2, 3, we see scannable information associated with the model and serial number. Today these are in oak finish, so we'll get to see that, and again close-ups. The top of the packaging has a remarkable, elaborate line drawing associated with how to unbox these and get the most out of them. Now with all of the B&W speakers, they are held closed with a fabric embossed tape, and the floor standers are also stapled closed. Right, so opening these is a two-stage process. The first is to cut very carefully the packing tape and then rip open the staples. Now, with anything that is stapled closed, the best advice I can give you is to take a moment and get rid of the staples. Pull them out. You run a real world risk of cutting yourself, dragging them on the carpet, damaging the speakers, all of those things if you leave the sharp exposed ends of those staples. So pull them out, take the time, get rid of them. Okay, now folding it open, we see the start of some of the elaborate packaging that B&W have put in. Polystyrene moulded, a nice little rattle, you'll see why. Okay, so we've got a full and comprehensive brochure and manual about the 600 series. It talks about wiring, it talks about bi-wiring, it talks about the bridging clips, the speaker placement, ports, all of those types of things, and how to assemble the floor standing speakers. We see a comprehensive accessory pack. It's actually marked accessory pack. You bust it open. It's got some soft screw-in feet for a hardwood floor and the traditional spikes for a carpeted floor. Then we see these, which we need to put off to one side, and it's the bolts and an Allen key associated with the plinth. These are a large floor standing speaker, and to ensure that they can have a relatively narrow cabinet but a very stable footprint, they use a plinth. It's a lovely style and of course ensures that the speaker itself is very stable in your home. Then we see the port wads. Now these help to manage the airflow through the rear port. Traditionally I would leave them out unless I have a problem, or maybe one of the speakers is in a corner and gives a little bit more sort of bloom to the bass. But it does mean that you can tune it using the two options that they include to change ever so slightly the roll-off of the bass. Great to see. Okay, now then we see you remove the polystyrene, which has protected of course the speaker in transit. And I'll just sort of tilt that forward briefly, okay, because you can see a whole lot of stuff you'll need to keep an eye out for. The first is that the edges, so the boxes here, are protected with some additional heavyweight packaging material, these sort of cardboard corners. It means that in freight, the edges are far better protected and are less likely to be damaged. Let's be honest, these are a heavy speaker, and it would be awful to see some minor damage destroying your investment. The next thing to look out for is a whole lot of this stuff, right? A whole lot of extra packaging down one side, okay? It's quite elaborate, and I'll drill into this. So what I'll do is I'll put this off to one side for now. We'll get into that in a moment's time. We're going to get these speakers out of the box so that we can see them, and then we'll have a look at some of the other things that go with them. Now, the line drawings on the top do explain that you should put the polystyrene cap back on before putting the speaker upside down, because the plinth and other things need to be, some assembly is required, so to speak. But with this soft carpet, we can get away with doing it in a more traditional way, which sees the speaker sort of, the box rolled over, and then the speaker slowly slid, and the large carton removed and got rid of. Okay, so at the top of the speaker, we see the bag that has protected it in freight, sealed with a simple piece of sellotape. Pretty easy to remove. And we see the base of the speaker ready for the accessories that we're about to show you. So, removing this and spinning it around, we're going to pause and look at the accessories. You'll see a couple of things that are worthwhile revisiting or having a look at. The first, in fact, I'm going to just sort of slide this all the way down. I think it's probably just as valid that we have a look at the speaker quickly, and then worry about this final sort of bag a little bit later. So take your time, don't be in a rush to remove that final bag. It's a big long sock of a thing, so it'll take a moment. And you'll see a simple technique of sort of dragging the bag and rocking the speaker. So, good sized bag, done its job. And then I'm going to pause and remove the second layer of protection, which is a plastic sleeve with an additional layer of protective material, and then the speaker's grill attached to that plastic sleeve. The three work together to ensure that the speaker grill is looked after in transit, and that the front of the speaker, because of its two-tone finish, is also well looked after. So very, very carefully nick the sellotape that's holding all that, ensuring that you don't damage the grill. Simple nick, and the additional protection that was on the front can be removed, and we can have a look at the speaker and its grill. Again, we're going to pause and have a look at the other things a little bit later. So the grill itself, we've seen this two-tone grill before with some of the other speakers that I've unboxed. In fact, the bookshelf speakers, the 606s, something like that, we've got an unboxing video here. Nevertheless, the grill is very, very straightforward as far as getting out of its final bag. We see the B&W or Bowers Wilkins logo in the centre at the bottom, and this grey grill goes with the two-tone wood and white options for the speakers, with a black grill supplied with the traditional black and darker wood finishes. Spinning it around, we see the bracing, the minimal bracing in the grill itself to ensure that there's nothing impeding the flow of the drive units and the sound that they're producing, along with magnetic, it's a magnetic grill, and the magnets are then protected with a little soft cap. So excellent to see. It's not going to chatter, it's not going to fall off, and it's not going to damage the speaker over time. Right, put that off to one side. Now, the accessories are held in place with a cardboard sort of cover and protector, and so there's a sort of a process as far as trimming that sellotape and gaining access to the accessories. Right, it's being painful. So the polystyrene has been utilised to support the plinth in transit. Get rid of that, and then get rid of the cardboard sleeve. Now, having it down one side also improves the potential for damage in freight. You know, it's a bit more protection, and it means that this is sitting in a location that can't get damaged, which is brilliant to see. Opening that, very, very straightforward. And we see the plinth. Okay. Now, a couple of things, and please hang around for the photographs as always. What we've got on this plinth is a cut-out arrow associated with it, okay? And we see the top and bottom clearly identifiable. The bolts that are in the kit set go straight in through here and into the pre-taps on the speaker, and then the spikes or soft feet go in here in the four corners. Again, very clearly labelled with an arrow to show you the front of the speaker. Okay? Now, again, that would sit this way up, and this is where you would pause, you'd get all the things and attach everything. We're not going to do that. Hang around for the photographs, okay? We're just here to look at the speaker at this stage. Nevertheless, all the nuts and bolts go in, the spikes go on, and then the speaker is raised into its upright position. So we're going to pause, put that off to one side, get all of those accessories, and we're going to have a look at this awesome floor standing speaker. Now, they're heavy, so please be mindful and careful when you're moving them around. Nevertheless, what we see is these are a three-way design. Firstly, B&W's iconic 1-inch dome tweeter, their stunning new drive unit for their mid-range. Now, this is a 6-inch or 150mm drive unit. It's a Continuum product. Now, essentially, it's an evolution over what B&W was famous for with their Kevlar drive units. Working perhaps a little bit like a drum in the way that it operates. The surrounds, or the large things we'd see in a traditional drive unit that allows it to move in a rubber surround, are virtually eliminated. It allows for a delightfully accurate mid-range, because of course a mid-range driver is moving at frequencies that are not as... Basically, you don't need a big annulus when you're running a mid-range driver. It's the concept behind it. And if you build a product like this well enough, you can virtually eliminate the surround and its influence on the cone breakup and other things along those lines. So it uses, again, it's a Continuum fibre. It's an evolution of Kevlar, for want of a better description. And it is the FST fixed suspension transducer technology that B&W have incorporated in their speakers now. There's also a lovely little soft dome dust cap in the middle. Then we see two 6.5-inch 165mm bass drivers. So tweeter, mid-range, and the bass drivers are paralleled up to give the effective surface area much greater than the 6.5s that it has. Again, the two-tone design, the oak and white, sets us apart from most in its price category from an elegance and quality perspective. Looking at them, you can see that they're not very deep, and that is emulated at the top, of course, with a very, very narrow footprint. Looking at the back, we see it's relatively boring. It's just an emulation of the wood grain that we've seen already, but we see their port, which B&W have done an exceptional job at ensuring it manages the pressure change in the cabinet, but without any port chuffing. Finally, we see a screen-printed logo of the 603 and the 5-way binding posts. The binding posts allow for the acceptance of bananas, spades, bare wires, all of those configurations, and can very, very easily be adjusted for by wire or by amplifying by removing the bridging clips. So there we have it. B&W's awesome 603 S3 floor standing speakers. 90 dB efficient, 30 to 200 watts, frequency response down to 30 hertz, something along those lines, and they're 8 ohms. Stunning, stunning floor standing speaker from B&W, the 603 S3. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.